Now, Scottish winemaker Pamela Geddes has been in the headlines recently after a sparkling red wine, La Pamelita, won an award. Well, we thought it was only right we celebrated her success properly, and we've invited wine expert Tom Canavan to bring in some to taste, as well as a few others. Tom, welcome to the 5:30 show. I was going to say something very glamorous there. Let's get stuck in. What's special about La Pamelita?
Well, it's a really nice story because Pamela Geddes is a Scot. She's from Bridge of Allan, just close to Stirling. And she qualified from Strathclyde University in molecular biology or biochemistry and started working in the whisky industry. But then she developed a passion for wine, which took her to Australia, where she broke into the wine-making world and eventually became one of the top wine makers in Australia for making a specific style of wine, which is sparkling red wine.
Now, is that unusual? Do you have many sparkling
We were talking about this in the green room, and I like sparkling red wines, and I like cold red wines. I mean, you know, icy cold, which is very rare. You know, people think that's, it should be room temperature and all that. Yeah. But this is rather nice.
You're liking that?
I'm liking this very much.
It's a lovely wine. Now she makes this wine in Spain. She's moved to Spain and she's got a very artisan, very boutique little winery where she does everything by hand and makes only around 2,000 cases of this wine from a grape called Monastrell. And it's not like champagne because it's big and it's rich and it's full, but it's made by the same method as champagne. So it's a really interesting wine.
A Scottish winemaker too.
Well, it's around 12 or 13 pounds a bottle, I think.
Quite pricey.
But it's for a handcrafted product, and you know, it's a fairly unique style.
We're used to bottles at £4 down in London.
Do you like it, Biggins?
I love it. It's very,
well,
very
that's
nice.
got the Biggins seal of approval.
Yes.
That'll be reassuring for Pamela Geddes then.
To say you've drunk something made by a Scottish winemaker, I think is worth the money.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. It's a select band, but there are a few of them.
All right, next up tonight, what we're going to try.
Next up, we're sticking to the sparkling theme, and one of the fastest growing categories of wine at the moment is Prosecco.
I love Prosecco.
Prosecco is a sparkling wine from the north of Italy, from way up north of Venice, from the hills just north of Venice and Treviso. And the grape's called Prosecco, the region's called Prosecco, and the wine's called Prosecco. So the whole point about this wine, I think, unlike champagne, is to get that real kind of fresh fruitiness into the wine. It's not a complicated wine, it's a wine for just drinking and enjoying. And I think it's
really good nice also, Prosecco, to put, like, peach juice with, you know, for Bellinis and things like that.
The classic Bellini is Prosecco and
absolutely.
It's a lovely insight into how you live your life.
Yes, I know. In Harry's bar, we're always there having a Bellini. Anyway, moving on.
So what price is this Prosecco then?
This Prosecco comes in at just over £9, which I think it's one of the more expensive ones, but it's a really, really good one.
Very nice one, actually.
Yeah, they start from around 5 or 6, but this is quality Prosecco.
And it's all about a different method of making it compared to the champagne, which is the final thing we're going to try.
It is. Our last wine is, you know, a blue chip proper champagne from a house called Philopena. Not one of the big houses like Veuve Clicquot or Moet and Chandon, but a very high quality house. The big difference, to put it very briefly, is that the fermentation process, yeast eats sugar and turns it into alcohol. Yeah. But the byproduct of that is carbon dioxide, and in still wines we let that carbon dioxide go. In champagne we capture it. Now in champagne it's captured inside individual bottles, so the yeast is working inside an individual bottle, but in this Prosecco method wine, it is all done in tank. So the wine is fermented in large steel tanks, and it's a slightly cheaper way of producing the same kind of wine.
Biggins, does that pass muster for you?
It's delicious. Actually, I really like it. I mean, it's a very nice champagne.
Because this is just under £34. That's quite expensive.
That's what I thought.
It's a lot of money, but it's a really good champagne. I mean, champagne will range from £15 a bottle or even less up to the hundreds. But this one spent 3 years maturing in the cellars before they released it from very, very good vineyards, and you know, it's a lot of care and attention goes into it. It's a lovely wine.
For a special occasion, absolutely delicious.
And if Biggins is on the sofa, then that's a special occasion.
Of course, it's always champagne time, and Christopher Biggins is here. Tom and Christopher, thank you both very much indeed.
It's a pleasure, thank you.